with a pin and said unto him, the Philistine be upon thee. Samson, the Philistine be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, how can thou say, I love thee? That's manipulation. How can thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast told me wherein, and hast not told me wherein thy great stand light. And it came to pass when she pressed him, another very, very, very serious matter here. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death. This is a very serious one. A translation says his soul was impatient. His soul was troubled to the point of death, that he told her all his heart. He told her all his heart. Now, one of the things a believer must understand as you deal with people, particularly in a marital relationship, is that there are individuals whose intentions primarily is that they want to make you always please them and go in their direction. And they will stop at nothing until they are able to use emotions to control you, manipulate you, and pressure you to make decisions. And a Christian or a believer must be such that you work on yourself, that internally you are matured enough, strong enough, that you do not become a subject of emotional blackmail. That is, you do not become someone that your spouse, it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be somebody that you are dating, must not use emotions to manipulate you into making decisions. I've seen this happen to a lot of men that have made decisions in their lives that are costly because their wives will come with tears. And I've seen some women also give their whole life to men that have no serious plan for them, because the man is a mastermind, is a master planner, is a master in the art of using emotion for manipulation. Let me start by saying that the ideal situation is that the decisions of your life and my life are not to be made by the emotional influence of other people, but by the help of the Holy Spirit, and you also thinking through your decisions. Are you following me at all now? It's called a clear-headed decision making. So that it is not because somebody is using an emotional pressure to put you on a spot where you have no other choice but to make decisions because somebody is feeling in a particular way. Does that mean you should neglect or ignore the way your wife, your spouse feels? That's absolutely not so. Are we together? The way your wife, your spouses feel and all of that, they matter, but they are not supposed to become instrument in making you to make decisions. And I must also say to you that even you as a person must not use emotion to manipulate your spouse to make decisions, because it's a bad weapon. Are you following me at all now? When you want somebody to do something for you or for a reason and all of that, once you put emotion as a weapon to get the person down, you are getting into witchcraft. Hello. Okay, maybe you don't know that manipulation is not different from witchcraft. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay? Now, you see, witchcraft is that we are used to. It's not just, it's the one that that is the show. But you find out that even those witchcraft, that one that we are used to, their strength is in that they make you make decisions that you did not. should be only vulnerable to God, and God should be the one that is leading you. And a very good prototype that we'll see is the case of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham was the one, Sarah was the one who came to Abraham, and I feel that she used emotional blackmail for Abraham in the first place, only that Abraham also did not think it through. That's why I say you must never allow emotional blackmail to get you off. So she came to Abraham and sounded like this, probably, you know, I will be looking for a child all this while. You say, just go into this, my staff, just sleep with her, nothing will happen, let her just have a baby and all of that. And if you check that story, because I've looked at that story over and over again, do you know Abraham never rejected? Neither did Abraham ask God. Two things might have happened. Abraham either must have been eyeing the lady, or Abraham is overpressured. I'm tempted to take the second. Are you following me at all now? Abraham was in a situation where his wife is crying, shedding tears, and is ready to just do anything to please her. And he was pressured. And then gave in. And then when the consequence came, the consequence of that decision that came out of emotional blackmail and pressure, Sarah came with another emotional blackmail. If you go and read that story, Sarah never said we were both together. Sarah said, you have made my servant to look down on me because you have gone into her. Excuse me, who made him to go into her in the first place? He wanted to. Oh, come closer. You people come closer. Come closer. Come closer. I like that. Come closer. Let me hear. He wanted to. You see, that's actually what happens. And that's why nobody must be allowed to emotionally blackmail you. Because after you have taken the decision, they will still say it's you. All of us is that I don't need to use emotional blackmail on my wife to get results. If I have a conversation with my wife, or I wish my wife would do something, if we discuss it and she's not agreeing, I can take it to God. Am I making sense to now? Why? Because the Bible says the heart of kings are in the hands of God, and like the course of water, he directs it to wherever he wills. Some men are so strong-willed, strong-intentioned, that they want, because the whole center point of emotional blackmail is that you are trying to use emotional tool. Are you following me at all now? You are trying to use something that will touch somebody's, take the reason out of the game and put the person in a situation where the person will have no other choice but to make the decision in line with what you actually want. And that in itself is unfair. But it's like you are shaking your head at. Hello. And many times, even the person that is using the emotional blackmail might not plan to be wicked. It's just that they plan to have their way. I want to have us go to roundabouts. And my wife does not want us to go to roundabouts. If truly you love me, you will follow me to roundabouts. You know what I've done? I've put her on the spot. And I've used blackmail on her. Or just imagine. What is wrong with you? Nothing. Is everything all right? I'm good. Well, you don't allow me to go to roundabout. I don't know what else you want me to do. Are you following me out? The whole idea is you just want the man to actually agree. Or it could be a man, because it's not only a weapon that a woman uses. Many men also use the same. The only difference is that some men use their own with strong face. Are you following me out? They use both face and just camo it with some. And so we are going to look at how do you to identify them. Let me start by saying that emotional blackmail is actually rooted in certain emotional states of mind, which include and not limited to a sense of insecurity. The person that is using emotional blackmail, most often than not, is because of somewhere inside them they don't feel secured. And they need to find a way. You see, if you feel secured in yourself, you won't have a problem that somebody disagrees with you. You see, every time you see people who have insecurity problem, go and check. They have a problem when their opinion and suggestion is rejected. Because the impression they often have is that when you reject my opinion, you have rejected me. So they become emotional. Are you following me, Atona? Either expressively or passively. People who have insecurity problem have a problem with, they are discussing with you now. And you say this thing is black. They feel it is yellow. If care is not taken, the fact that you take opposing view makes in their mind they have a problem until you come to their side. And one of the weapons they like to use to achieve their aim is to emotionally blackmail you. They can say something about your secrets that you have kept in their hands just to unrattle you, just to make you to see that you have to come to their side. They can go and bring something in your history that everybody has forgotten. Are you following me, Atona? All they want to achieve is that you must submit by force. Are we together? So, am I touching some nerves here? 2, it could be a subtle need for control. This one, it is men that usually have this problem. Men that use emotional blackmail to actually gain control. So they are looking for how to be in charge by all means. And in order for them to be in charge, sometimes they can appeal to culture. Sometimes they can appeal to social opinion. All they just want to do is that they want to put you in straitjackets. Are you following me, Atona? That's when you hear a man might say, is it because you earn more than me? You are discussing something that is minor, or something that the woman has not been rude, but because she earns more than you, something in you wants her to make a decision that you want. And because she's saying no, you come up with the fact that she's proud. Is it because you are not that me? That's why you are proud. That's why you are this. Is that something is wrong somewhere? You want to be in charge by all means, coupled with the fact that there is a sense of insecurity. Are we together? You know, the reason why I'm going this direction is that if we don't unmask the masquerade, you will never be able to know how to deal with the thing that is inside the masquerade. We will look at what causes it on the side of the person that uses it, and then look at on the side of the person that it works on, what makes it work on them. So on the side of people who use it is because of insecurity, is because sometimes of the fact that they want to take control, and sometimes it's as a result of fear. Fear is a terrible master. And it could be fear of the unknown, fear of somebody leaving you, fear of somebody going ahead of you, fear of somebody. For example, if a man suddenly is afraid that his wife will be richer than him, he can use a lot of emotional blackmail to put her in the middle. Oh, you don't know? Okay, let's first quickly settle this. Let's settle this. Maybe one of these is, I'm going to teach on it. It's not every man that will be richer than his wife. Oh. I know you don't like me to talk about it. I'm shaking tables here now. What makes a man the head is not that he's richer than his wife. Are we still here? Can I also help you a little? Some women will be richer than their husband. And it doesn't make you the leader. That you have more money than your husband doesn't make you the leader of the house. And the earlier you accept some of this reality, the better. Because again, this is one of the things that has created a problem for us in the body of Christ. So I say, okay, so where's the man now? I say, Pastor, They are not coming. And I said, what's the problem? He said, the ones that are coming are married people, and I don't want to marry a married person. I said, are you telling me that single brothers are not? I said, those single brothers, they are head no correct. I said, why? He said, they are always afraid. They are intimidated. So I began to ask a few questions. Now, apparently, in the sense that most of the guys that came our way, they didn't have a standard of life. They have jobs, but they didn't have a level of job. So naturally, their salary is not up to our level. So once they start dating, they become intimidated. So when they start talking, now, she came from a rich family. She has seen money. She's not working in a big place. So the way she talks about money is like, are you following me at all now? But unfortunately, the people who come around, they feel uncomfortable. And she does not know that the way she talks about money is why they feel uncomfortable. Do you get the logic now? Somebody has been in millions, I've seen millions, I've had to make some major decisions and all of that. And then you're talking and units or tens of millions is not an issue. And then you're now talking to a man. And they say, why is that a problem now? That's not a problem. That's not. So the man say, hey! So, okay, let me talk to some of the single brothers like AY. Not his daughter, not Mr. Olubi, AY. He knows himself now. Can I be honest with you? First, build self-confidence. Be confident. Money is not what makes you you. No material things really makes you you. Have a clear understanding of your self-worth. Are you following me at all now? Then it will be easier for you to handle anybody. I've told you before, when I met my wife, she was earning 54,000, I was earning 7,000. Can't you see the difference? Did you get the logic now? She came to service, they came with Ragolis water, parked in the boot of the car that they used to bring her. Me, now pure water, the shark. First ET I took her, I was not trying to impress. First ET I took her was Booker. And I did it confidently, man. I did it with all confidence. That is what my money can afford. Are you still here? No, it's not because I want to drag her, but it's because you first must be settled in your inner self as a man. That is not things that makes you. But let me come to the other side, which is where I was coming from. Most ladies, you also have to understand that the fact that you have resources, you have money, or you have more exposure, you have more things than a man does not make you the head. And so some of you does not know how to talk in a submissive manner without actually making yourself the footmat. You see, there is an healthy balance between healthy submission and you being in a position of being humiliated. And that is what I think a lot of ladies need to learn. So usually when a man is dealing with a lady, and probably the lady seems to be a little higher financially or there, but the man wants to control, say, so the man brings in subtle emotional blackmail. It could be on the high side, it could be on the low side. So he starts pranking on the fact that you are proud, you are rude. Now listen, as a man, if you frequently say that a lady that you are dating for 6 months, 1 year is rude, I will first presume that something is wrong with you. And you will ask me why. It means that before you date the person, except you just met just sharp and you propose immediately, you probably must have seen the person. You must have observed certain things. It's not every lady that is confident that is rude. And it's not all the time that even when a lady appears, that you cannot manage her without you breaking her spirit. You can manage a lady with all her this thing and not necessarily break her spirit. if you understand yourself. That's for another day anyway. But I'm just saying that usually when some men have not really learned and understood themselves, understood how the dynamics of relationship between a man and a woman is, they want to use emotional blackmail to gain dominance, to gain control. That's why you see some guys, they will allow the lady to love them, then suddenly they will now begin to use cold treatment. I'll come to some of the weapons they use. Sometimes, you know the lady loves you, that's when you now put off your phone for some time. Then she wants to access you for 3 days, she cannot get you. Okay, we are coming there. We are coming there. Hello. All right. Sometimes it's as a result of low emotional intelligence. Again, it could be on the side, either side, either of a male or a female, particularly the person that is using it. What makes them to use emotional blackmail many times is that somebody does not understand how emotions work. You know, when you don't understand how emotions work, you don't know how to use it. Because emotional intelligence in itself is a precursor for emotional competence. And there are two primary things when it comes to emotional intelligence and competence. It is that you have the ability to read and understand your own emotions, which we tag as self-awareness. You are self-aware. You can self-control yourself. You know how you feel and why you feel the way you feel when you feel so. You've understood yourself. You know the things that get you angry, and you know exactly how to manage yourself. That's the first rule in emotional intelligence. The second rule of emotional intelligence is that you know why people feel the way they feel. Are you following me at all now? That's relationship, understanding of people and relationship management, social awareness. You are able to understand what gets people angry, and the different kinds of people that we have, and all of that. It is the cumulative understanding of both self and social awareness, and the ability to use that information, that knowledge, to both your advantage and the advantage of other people, that we call emotional intelligence. Are you following me at all now? And then it will now gravitate to emotional competence. Now, when people don't have emotional intelligence or competence, they use emotional blackmail to get their way, to achieve what they want to achieve. I'll give you an example. This afternoon in the office, I was talking to our executive secretary. She was supposed to make our staff, one of our staff, to take a responsibility from another staff. And those other two staffs, they have emotional language among themselves. You know, women, they can have their own paparazzi trouble. So the thing had not been going the way I expected it to go. So I called the executive secretary to query her. And so while I was querying her, she referred to the person. So the other person came, and then I queried the other person. And so the other person wanted to escape, and then said something that the executive secretary did not agree with, so it became an emotional spark. And so right in my office was a melodrama. So party A was up in anger. Party P was up in anger. Are you following me at all now? Now, I could be so emotionally unaware that I would just crack through and achieve my aim and dismiss them. But I understood that what I want to achieve is not as important as how they feel. So I began to play around it. Talk to party A, and then I say, yes, I can understand. You did. I get you. But this area. And I came to party B. And then I danced back and forth for a while. And after some time, the tension came down. Then I asked them to apologize to themselves. Are you following me? And then by the time we will finish, we came back to that same subject. And then we have resolved it. And the thing that I want to be done was still going to be done. Are you following me at all now? Now, if I do not understand how people feel and how the feelings can affect work, what would have just happened is that I would just have said my own, and then we go that way, and everybody be on their way. Now, when a man or a woman is in a relationship and doesn't understand emotions, and the person wants something to be done, that person can use emotional blackmail on other people. The reason why I'm saying that people use emotional blackmail because they have low emotional intelligence is that sometimes you don't know the weight of emotional blackmail that you are using on people. Are you still here? Imagine I look at my wife and I say something like, because I want her to do something, and I say, why do you always like to disrespect me? My wife that I know, that statement will hurt her very deep. You know why? She had always ensured she walked around it that she never disrespects me. So if I say it to her, it means that my level of emotional intelligence is not high. Are you following me at all? Even though I want to use it to get what I want to get, but a kind of person will take it personal. Are you following me at all now? But if I turn to somebody else who probably may not take that kind of a thing very serious, maybe somebody who is like a kogi, and maybe I use Mrs. Hansen now. She don't go take up. But I say, no go there. So she will multiply it. Hello. But you know, there are some women, if you say, why did the way they will look at you is like, it doesn't really make any difference to them. Are you following me at all now? So, some people, both male and female, use emotional blackmail sometimes because they are not emotionally intelligent themselves. They are low on emotional intelligence. But why does it work on people? All right? It's work on people sometimes because people themselves, they want to please other people. Sometimes they want peace at all costs. You know, when you just want peace at all costs, I don't want trouble. Are you following me at all now? So you just allow it. Sometimes it's because people just, they are afraid of conflict. Because if you don't understand why this thing works on you, you may not know how to, because the whole essence of this meeting is that by the time we are through, you should be able to identify emotional blackmail when you see one. And then you should be able to know how to handle it without becoming a victim. Are you following me at all now? And on your own side, you should be able to know how not to use it. Because sometimes you can use emotional blackmail without yourself knowing that that's what you are using. All right? So the reason why people allow it to work on them, why people give in to emotional blackmail, most of the time is that they don't want trouble. Let's just have peace. Is that what you want? Okay, we just go. Sometimes it's that some people just want to avoid conflict. You know, there are two different things. You just want peace of mind. That's one. The other one is that you don't like to engage somebody else. And for those of you who don't like conflict, please hear me very clearly. Especially women. When you are maybe a flag or somebody that is introverted, you don't want conflict. That conflict that you don't want will ultimately come one day. Oh. Conflict is not bad. They will teach you in peace and conflict study. They will say conflict simply means we see it in two different perspectives. Are you following me at all now? Conflict is not the same thing as fight. Hello? we have conflicting views, we have conflicting opinions, it doesn't mean that we have to fight. Are you still with me at all now? And the reality is that we may not even still agree. Can I be honest with you? I cannot tell you that it's everything that me and my wife agree on. There are some things we don't agree on. When the things come to say, she will just say something, let's leave it. Let's just leave it. Sometimes, we'll have that disagreement. I'm like, this thing, my blood still dey hot. And when my blood is hot, I sometimes just want to keep quiet. Then she'll come and say, is it over that small thing that you are keeping malice? So I'm not keeping malice. I just want to be to myself. Then she will say something like, we don't have to agree now. We can agree later now. And then my brain will come to fast reset. And truly, we don't really have to agree on that matter immediately. We can leave that matter. At least there are other things we agree on. Are you following me at all now? So the reason why emotional blackmail works many times for some people, on some people, is that they don't want conflict. They don't want to disagree on anything. And listen, conflict is part of life. That's why there's need for conflict resolution. That's why two people who are in marital relationship must be able to decide how do we resolve when we have conflict. For us, we had a decision then that any decision that we have, we will talk about it. Before night falls, we will talk about it. Are you following me at all now? We'll just discuss it. You see, when you start to discuss it, you may not agree ultimately, but at least you begin to have direction of solution. And then sometimes when you find out that the thing is becoming escalated, you de-escalate it. Let's leave it to tomorrow. Let's come back again tomorrow. Let's leave it till next tomorrow. Let's come back again. Then you come and relook at it. But if you're always avoiding conflict, emotional blackmail will work on you very easily. All right? Are we together? Then some people, the reason why it works on them is that they want to avoid guilt. And the people who want to avoid guilt, usually the person who uses emotional blackmail on them, they always look for something in their case, in their story, that can put them on the spot and prick their heart. They say, you've been cheating me in this house. You've been cheating me, and when you took me from my father's house, you didn't say you will do like this to me. And the man will feel like, am I really cheating you? Do you get what I'm saying now? What they are playing to is your sense of guilt, so that you feel guilty. And sometimes if you really examine it, there's nothing to be guilty about. But it's just the fact that you have an active conscience sometimes. Are you following me at all now? And because you don't want to really be guilty. Let me give you an example. There was a case that came to my table some time ago. A lady wanted her husband to help her in the kitchen. Now, the man, on that particular day, the man, please I want you to follow this argument. The man cleans the baby's bum. The man changes diaper. The man baths baby in the morning. Please, I'd like you to follow me. Just follow me. The man baths baby in the morning. Sometimes the man will be at home with the baby when the wife goes out. Okay. I'm just... let me finish now. Let me finish. Are we together? Then the woman now said this day, help me to cook. And the man said, I don't want to go to the kitchen. I don't go and cook. I cannot help you to cook. Then she began to cry. You don't want to help me. You are not a man. You are not helpful in this house. I don't care. Hello. So the matter came to my table. The matter came to my table. Unfortunately, it's the lady that first made her case. Pastor, he's not caring. He doesn't Sonny, but I feel. He doesn't look at me. You don't help me. I said, you help me. Hello. But you know the funniest part is that the thing worked on the man. The man was already feeling guilty. So he was so the man started by saying, Pastor, look, I care for her. I love her. And he said, I don't want to even do the cooking. It's the way she was talking. So me, I kukuma shake the table. I say, if I was the one, I would not do the cooking. Because the man, when the man was doing his own explanation, he had to say, Pastor, I care for her, I would have done the cooking. No, ask her. No time to watch the baby. You ask her now. No time clean. No, ask her. He's been about the baby now. Is he only just this one I did not do? Hey, you too. Say, do you mean he does those things? Say yes. Hello. So you see that. Sometimes it could be a man. The woman is earning, bringing all her salary and giving him. And then just because you wanted to do a project, and the woman feels that let's not use the money to do this project, she becomes non-submissive and not helping. But before, she's been giving you a salary. But this one that she does not give you. And you know some women, once the man starts saying that, it's not your fault. It's because my business is not moving. It's because they have not paid me at my company. If I'm making money, will you be doing like this to me if I'm making money? But excuse me, she was giving you money before. The only difference that there's a conflict. Don't use my money for this project. Let's do this one. That's the conflict. Are we together? I hope I'm not shaking tables too much here tonight. All right. So I'm saying that most times the people that use it, they want to actually make people feel guilty. Sometimes, those people that are avoiding feeling guilty. They just want to have peace at all costs and all that. But these are the forms. Let's look at the forms that this thing takes. Wow, time they go. Okay, let's see how manage it. These are the common forms that they take. One is threats. And when I'm saying threats, it's not necessarily verbal threats alone. Sometimes threat is anything that jostles your peace, anything that unsettles you. And these are the form that threats can take. Somebody that you have been talking together before suddenly went silent on you. What that person is doing is that he's threatening you. Do that make sense at all now? That person is threatening you because have you ever been there before? You are talking to somebody and then the person just went quiet. You talk to them, they didn't answer you. Are you okay? What happened is that your brain will be racking. What did I do? You'll be unsettled. You'll be uncomfortable. Sometimes is that they just leave the relationship completely. Not because they want to totally leave, but they want to leave to hurt you, to threaten you. That's why you hear guys just say, I'm not doing again. It doesn't mean he's not doing, no. I've heard some women say things like this, I'm done with this. I'm done. Now threats. Because if you say you are done, I mean to say I'm done. You too will sleep. But sometimes it's just an emotional blackmail. Just to get you unsettled, get you unrattled. Are you following me at all? No? I'll give you an example. I was reading the newspaper not too long ago. A woman wanted to use emotional blackmail on her husband. And then she said she's done. The husband begged. She said, no, I can't take this nonsense again. I'm done. And then packed her load. So the man said, okay, since you have gone, no problem. After, I think about 6 months or thereabouts, the man has been begging, and then she's saying, I'm done, I'm done. The man now had a girlfriend. And then girlfriend now came to the house. They did not told her where she was. Another woman has gone to the house. She packed her load though. Guess what she did? She went to the house to fight. And went straight. Bah, 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 bah. They said, you brought a woman. You will not even allow me to go finish. And she began on the woman. Boko boko loshi ashawa. But I thought they said you are done. Hello. So the reality is that she was really not done. She just wanted to threaten and use emotional blackmail for a while. Hello. But you see, this thing I'm seeing, some people have actually gotten to the point where they do emotional divorce. How do I put it now? They don't mean to divorce, but they just wanted to make the all right. Okay. So aside from that approach, it can take, I'm telling you the forms that it takes. Sometimes it can take still threatening, can take them withdrawing support from you. They withdraw love, they withdraw affection, they withdraw support. That's what makes some women even withdraw sex from their husband. So they no longer want to show you their affection. Why? Because they want to threaten you by making sure that you miss something that they are giving you. Are you following me at all now? For some, is that they will stop cooking for you if they're a woman. If it's a man that gives you something, sometimes he withdraws it and all of that. When you see some of those things, especially when the person is not willing to discuss the matter that is the issue, they are trying to use weapon of emotional blackmail. Because most of us, we only know one direction of emotional blackmail. And that's why I wanted to look at the possible dimension they could take. Secondly, they could take the form of victim, where the person who is using emotional blackmail, is playing the victim card. That's when sometimes they cry. They make it look as if they are the one that is suffering. They say things like this. No problem, since I know nobody cares for me. I know I'm alone. I know. Just leave me alone. I know I'm alone. I know I'm alone. I know I don't have a father. I don't have a mother. I know I'm alone. Even you that I thought I have, I don't have you. I'm just deceiving myself. I know I'm alone. Have you had those kind of things before? A victim card. Hello. And the aim is to get you to become guilty. I'm not teaching you this so that your heart will not become Zuma Rocco. I'm teaching you so that you know how to also now play the game back. Somebody is telling you, I know. I'm alone. I know there's somebody that cares for me, but God knows, I don't know what kind of life. You know it's emotional blackmail, so you come and say, Oni, I care for you. Leave me, you don't care for me, you don't care for me. If I don't care for you, who else will care for you? Emotion for emotion. But you see, some people are not emotionally mature. Where say, and they say, hey, how can you say I don't care for you? Then you add the woro. You won't get solution that way. Hello. Sometimes they do blame shifting, making you feel responsible for their pain. They are going through something now, and then they make you feel. They can say things like, let's say something happened to them. Instead of taking responsibility for what has happened to them, say, it's your fault. If you didn't push me, I would not have done that thing. How did I push you? Are you following me at all? The truth, I remember some time ago, I was settling a case between a guy and a girl. The lady got into another relationship with somebody else. he was still in relationship with this guy. Relationship that was supposed to lead to marriage. Then somewhere along the line, the guy now caught her. So I was to settle the matter. Then the lady said, they've been dragging it before they came to me. So they said, Pastor, don't mind that. It's the one that caused it to her. I would not have dated that guy. If I don't even like the guy, it's not my spec. But it's the cause, it's the one that pushed me. And even where I sat, I'm like, Azi. Hello. But you know, before they came to me, she had made the guy feel very bad. That, you know. So the guy's aim when they came to me was that I should beg her. If you know what ladies have shown me. Because she was really explaining how she's paying and all. It's not that I don't know that it could happen. But in that their situation, analyzing it, I didn't see what that guy did to make her. They had an argument. She said the guy didn't say sorry. And then she kept to herself for some time. The guy didn't serve also buffets. And then the buffet was saying, I expected him to come back. He did not come back. I was left alone. I was just worrying. I was thinking. And then the guy came. The guy was the only one I had to talk to. He was always there. He was a guy that was... Hello. But you see, what I would have appreciated in that situation is that she just accepts responsibility for her action. Oh, yes, I felt this way. Maybe that was the time I was vulnerable, blah, blah, blah. And then would have... But what she did for him was to play the emotional blackmail thing on him. And it could happen for people who are in marriage too. Are you following me at all now? Have you ever had a situation where your wife mistakenly pour soup, part of the soup away, and then you are around, and then she blames you for the soup pouring away, that she's turning by herself, and then you are wondering. Or she overslept, and then she blames you for not waking her up, for oversleep. Oh my God. Are we still together? And of course, the regular one all of us know is gaslighting. You know, so I don't need to talk a lot about that. You know. All right. I don't think I can take it because of time. Okay, so how do you know if you are being emotionally blackmailed as a person? You constantly feel guilty in that relationship for what is not your offense. Sometimes you find it difficult to put your feet on the ground to make your decision or your opinion known that is contrary to theirs. It's also like being able to say no because you are afraid of what they will say or how they will feel and all of that. You have to worry and think. There's a problem somewhere. And if you are such a person that you are making your partner to feel that way, you need to work on yourself. It doesn't mean you are a bad person, but it just means that you are more emotional. Many of the people that use emotional blackmail, it's not that they are bad. They didn't even plan to use it as a tool, but it's just the fact that they are more emotional than logical. Emotions drive a lot of the things that they do. And as an individual, emotions should not be everything about your life. You should be able to sit down sometimes and weigh your decisions. Why am I doing this? What's the implication of this? And all of that. So you want to work on yourself to be a better person, such that as much as you don't want to be emotionally blackmailed, you also don't want to emotionally blackmail other people. All right. So sometimes, excuse me, sometimes you feel emotionally drained because of the relationship we are in. It's like you have to give a lot. You know, when you're emotionally blackmailed, you will be the one doing a lot of giving. You have to be the one to be quiet. You have to be the one to, you can't express your mind. You're always trying to think a way out of the box and all of that. You know. And then sometimes you see that you have to apologize too much. You have to suppress your own needs so that their own needs can be met. You know, so sometimes you are walking on the eggshell so that you don't offend them. You know, because you don't know what to say that they will get angry and all of that. Once you start finding yourself in that situation, it's a sign that you are being emotionally blackmailed. Now, I'll wrap up on this. If you keep tolerating it, now, you can endure it with the aim of helping your partner, especially if you are married. And even if you are in a relationship and you are single and you like the person, you can endure it with the aim of helping them to grow. But if you tolerate it without a focus in helping the other person to grow, and part of helping them to grow is that you might have to discuss it. I don't like the way you make me feel when matters like this happen. I don't like what you do when this and this happen. Let's talk about it. That's why I'm saying don't be afraid of conflict. Now, if you do not, this likely will happen to you. You may unconsciously begin to find other people other opposite sex fill gaps in your life. If you are consistently being emotionally blackmailed, because of the draining effect, you will look for a balance somewhere. And especially if the devil arranges or circumstances just happen that you now find someone who is emotionally stable, who comes on the scene, either in your place of work or your social circle, you will drift to them. So as a man, you will have 2 wives. As a woman, you will have 2 husbands. The beginning of people committing adultery many times is not because they want to. It's because somebody is emotionally blackmailing them. And they are looking for a way to balance their inner core. You see, when you are emotionally blackmailed, most of the time, your inner core gets unstable. So you are looking for how to balance it. When you now find opposite sex that makes you feel balanced, you crave their presence. Are we together? Can I talk to every man, particularly women here? Women hear me, married or single. I beg you, by the mercies of God, I'll talk to men too, but just hear me as a woman. I beg you by the mercies of God, never make your husband feel uncomfortable in your presence, because very soon someone else will fill that gap. There are 2 things you should be careful about as a woman. Don't emotionally drain your husband, and don't become intellectually inferior. Those 2 things makes men get options when they find options. Are you following me at all now? Check. Men get drifted to intellectually sound ladies. Can I be honest with you? Ladies also get attracted to intellectually sound guys. So if you are also a man and all you can show is brute, I'll be man. And the woman finds a man that is emotionally stable, sound, can handle her, can listen to her, can pay attention to her, and something is upstairs. She's looking for security. She'll find someone to lean on. Before you will accuse her of adultery, check, you may be the one pushing her away. Let me stop here. I'll be answering questions with the remaining so that we can. I see the time is up. The time is. Eh? Yeah. You don't hear the men. I don't talk to men now. I don't talk to men, Anna. I don't talk to men, Anna. I just said it. Okay. I will say it. I'll say it. Okay, I just said it. That a woman is not looking for a man that just wants to show he is the man. What makes him the man is that he's emotionally stable and provides security for the woman so that she has a shoulder to lean on. Intellectually sound, emotionally stable. A man that is reacting to everything that the wife does, he's not a man. Everything that the wife does, you have to fight over. But she's emotionally stable. So I've talked to men. But I'll deal with others as we take questions.
Thank you, sir. Please, questions. Okay. All right.
Please get me a mic for Dr. D here. No, get people questions. You have another mic for question? All right, good.
So my question is regarding what you said about the way some people speak. And,
the way some people
talk, and I've noticed by experience that some people don't really find fault in what they say. Because when I'm trying to be conscious of what they say, I also try to be conscious of boiling everything down to their language. Because I feel like the way some people talk is just by upbringing. So how do we create a balance? Because I feel like when I meet a new person, especially in a certain way we're in a relationship with, I feel the responsibility is mine to kind of maybe allow
help them.
Yeah. So how can we
No. You
so
should
that they won't find faults.
No, that's why I said you have done a very good job in the positioning of your mind. I've said it. I said I'm teaching this not with the intention that you should go and be finding faults. So I like the position that, okay, when I'm in this relationship, I'm there to give. I'm there to help this person. But you also must be aware when people are using those things as weapon of manipulation. Because part of helping people might include saying no. Do you get what I'm saying now? Okay, let me give you an example. I was counseling a couple some time ago. And I was using Barrister Hanson's case for them. The woman wants the man to say yes for everything. And the guy has been saying yes. So it's paining him inside, but he does not know how to say it. So they now had issues. So he came to my table. So as they were talking and all that, the lady wanted another thing, two things, and then so the guy was like, even though I don't agree, but if that's what she wants and all of that. Then I remember an incident some time ago. Barrister and his wife were discussing on something, and then the wife had to come and say, see this barrister. No matter how you do, you just look at you. He will not fight you, but he will not move from that point. I will never forget that situation. So I looked at the guy and said, do you know you can say no without fighting? You can say no and be firm. Because what the lady was doing for him was to make him say yes to everything. And some ladies are like that. You want to have yes for everything. And so the moment the guy is now saying no, he becomes an enemy. So as much as you are there to help them, part of helping the opposite person might be to firmly correct what is wrong without fighting. So the whole essence of all of this discourse is that you will know this person is trying to manipulate me with this thing, and this one will not work this time. So I put my feet on the ground. It's not every time you say, so that there can be peace, I'm here to help them, I'm here to, and then you say yes for everything. That's the whole essence. Somebody's here.
Thank you, Daddy. I want us to revisit the silent aspect of the scene. You already portrayed it as a manipulative tool. I just felt different that actually is needed in marriage. The reason is this. Sometimes I do use it. And why I use it is because when I do that, we have a conflict with my wife, and I just let me just give her space so that I know myself, I could be very explosive and I'm angry. Understand? Instead of trying to communicate and she not seeing what I'm seeing and all that, I want to get angry. So I just use that too. Let me be silent for 2 days. Yes, I'm not being manipulative. I'm just.
So you are not using, your silence is not emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
Your silence is emotional intelligence. You see, I'm coming now. Wait now. I'm coming. I've not talked about the days. Hello. We have not dealt with the days. Hello. We have not dealt with the days. Let's first get the intention. The intention is that you are not keeping silent because you want her to ultimately dance to your tune. You are keeping silent because from what you have said, judging by what you have said, you understood yourself that you could be volatile if you get into arguments. So for that reason, you are reining on yourself. That tool, silence in that case, is a tool for emotional intelligence. Now, when you now make it longer than a day, I can come in, wait, don't be too judgy. I cannot conclude that it's emotional blackmail. Because what I want to find out is what made you to do it for 2 days. Did you make attempts? Have you observed that when you raise the thing, there will still be fight? Why does it become 2 days? That will be my next question. Okay, every argument must not just end in arms. Okay.
When you're trying to do something and I'm sorry.
So you don't like I'm sorry?
It's not that I like I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be manipulative sometimes. You blackmail sometimes. You better say I'm sorry. It's not on the end. So sometimes I want my wife to see the weight of this.
Now at that level it has become emotional blackmail.
I disagree.
See, let me tell you, by the definition, don't forget, by the definition, we say you use emotion to make people to do what you want them to do. So what do you want her to do?
Let's rewind. I believe,
Yeah.
and I'm convinced I'm still the leader of the family.
Yes, that's what?
I'm the leader.
Yes, sir.
I still believe that there's something that may see that she will be able to see it.
Yes.
And in order to bring her to the table, to see the weight of the discussion,
Yes, sir.
understand, I need to give space. Also for her to reflect.
So your gift.
I'm not doing it to dance to my tune. I'm doing it to dance to the tune of the common goal.
Sir. But you still want to use the emotion to force her to see what you want her to see. It's emotional blackmail. Move to the next person.
Praise God.
Why don't you see what she's also seeing? It takes dialogue for the two of you to see.
No, my question is not much. It's just inference. Pastor, I want to use 2 illustrations from what you said. You talked about maybe that lady that is well-to-do, and then you were my understanding that maybe sometimes because she's the one scaring the men. Why is it that? Is it not maybe the men want to bring her down to their level? Because sometimes you say she was born in wealth, she grew up, she's making cool money. Let's just say, okay, maybe in a month, her expenses now, maybe her expenses like 5 million, 6 million.
just say you don't feel good.
Okay, and I don't feel. So you don't just want to do anything. So if that day, you know, as a woman, there is a way you are not feeling good. You're even.
So you will not forget that the man that has been washing bum of children, bathing children.
So why can't the man also understand that his wife normally will not do this thing? So today that she's moody, why can't he also cover?
Is that
she's not blackmailing him? As if she's already confused.
She's saying the man is not helping her. She's not helpful.
Okay, if she does not cook, what will they eat? The man will want to eat. The children want to eat. Because somebody that is moody can decide not to even eat. Can even decide, yes.
Okay. I'll come back to the second. Wait, I'll come back to the second question. Let's pick the first question. Because my wife was in that situation. So I'll make her to speak to that first question. The lady that is comfortable and the guy is this and then so she's saying that when the lady is talking, is it not because the man wants to bring the lady to his level? So maybe if help us address that.
Hallelujah.
Glory to God.
The Holy Spirit to help me. I think that there is a way a lady who is comfortable should relate with a man that she loves and may not even be where she is. And there is a way that if she talks that way, the man will be afraid. And there is a way that she can talk and the man will feel more comfortable. For example, mine will still is, my own not reach is on medium example where he give. But I remember that I think it was until I never trusted all the packed water. So I used to take bottled water. They actually didn't bring it. I was buying it in camp. I was buying bottled water in camp because I never trusted pure water. I only started taking pure water after I got married. I was not taking pure water before. And then I will not eat. If you know who I am, you will know that you can't give me a buka food. That's the kind of buka we went to in Benue. Because I would have gone beyond the food. I would have entered into their kitchen in my mind. And so, but I looked and I said, okay, this is what this person can afford. I didn't finish the food. I ate very little. But I did not complain. And I ate it. Some people will not agree that I should have eaten it because they feel that I'm bringing myself down. And that when we get married, that's why he can give me pure water to drink because he does not know which level I'm coming from. Before then, because my mom specifically, she was like somebody who didn't mind spending money. So provisions were bought in supermarkets. And so even as a core member, I would take 11,000 to the supermarket. I'm buying for who? Me. I will buy oats. I'll buy cornflakes, non-NASCO, Kellogg's cornflakes, imported now Kellogg's is everywhere. I'll buy Kellogg's. I'll buy Weetabix. In fact, somebody is Dayodelis bought Weetabix for me for us during this Christmas. I had to say, this Christmas almost cost quanta many years ago. I'll buy Weetabix. I'll buy sausage. I had a fridge, even as a couple. When I go to places, I go well to places. I painted my room as a copper. I won't stay in a room that the wall. Even as a student, we go for rural posting. 3 weeks, I painted the room. Okay. And so I'm trying to say that, but with all that, when we now met, I knew I was meeting somebody who could not avoid it. Let me use the word. And so rather than mess up the things he did, I thanked him for the things he did. And then when we talk, now it was not, I wasn't talking like, oh, my money, my money, my money, my money. And even as core members, it's like, okay, I bought all those things. Even though he stopped me from buying Weetabix at the time, he was just
Can you imagine? This your pastor was crying because of Weetabix. When souls are perishing. I said, why will you pick Weetabix when there is NASCO this conflicts?
You see, it's not, Weetabix is different. It's different from conflicts.
Can you imagine?
It's different now.
I say, no, are they not come together? It's not for you to have something to mix with water.
And then you can't compare this. So I remember when actually what made me cry that day was that I felt that this.
So you can see that she has admitted that she cried.
I did
because of Weetabix.
As he dropped it, I don't know why I did not struggle to say no with my money. Come on, get out of that place. I know that because it was not even his money. Yes, now it was mine.
Are we not supposed to be joined together? We are going to get married together. And with the wolf shop, we are.
I just felt that Yoko, I can imagine my mom, if she finds out that I need this thing, she's going to get it for me. So that's what made me cry, that this one man cannot be good. Maybe his CV even dropped small that day, but maybe he covered it up after. So the way the person is now able to accept, let's assume that guy earns 50,000 naira. The way the lady is now going to be able to accept the 50,000 naira gifts or 20,000 naira gift he gives, and does not now say, no, that's not my standard, no. So the way she talks and the way she handles what she now has, and if she wants to get married to the person, I think it's good she comes down. But if the guy is such a person that feels very intimidated, I will advise her not to marry the person. I still remember when my mother was on my dad's neck to buy me a car before I met him. My auntie was on his neck to buy me a car before I met him. My dad was scared and said, but the right man may run away. And my younger sister said, any man that runs away because she has a car has a problem. And so if a lady finds out that because of what she has, and it's not because she's talking somehow or saying things to pull the man down, the man is already intimidated, she should better run. He will be intimidated throughout life until the marriage breaks.
So the ultimate thing there is that the lady must be careful. And that's actually what I told her. Be careful how she speaks. Because there's a way you can talk to a man and his ego feels roughened. Okay? All right, let's take another question, then we move on. Yeah.
Still on this topic of guys being intimidated, or woman talking to guys in a way that they are being intimidated. I think for the past 2 years now, maybe when I started business, I've not gone far. But in as much I have not gone far, even if those guys come, before you even have a conversation, they start like, you are a boss, madam, now. You are a CEO now. What can I offer to a CEO like you?
Yeah.
So they're already feeling intimidated before they can even have a conversation with you.
Yeah. So what's the problem, Abi?
What is the problem?
I'll tell you. Let me be honest with you. Of course, this is something that we'll talk in private, but I should talk to you in private, but I think I should say it because somebody else might learn. By virtue of your approach to life, men that came from your own level of life cannot marry you. In fact, when you bring them, I will disqualify them. No, I'm not even praying. I'm telling you, wait. I'm telling you, the reason is that it will take a guy who has worked his mind up to be able to handle you at your level now. Because you didn't get to the level you got to because somebody dashed you money. You worked yourself up. So naturally your mind has enlarged. Even though you do not look down on men, So where your problem is now is that you give men that are coming your way plain chance, but many of them are not even qualified to toast you. But we can talk about that later. But that's the honest truth, is that you have worked yourself over time to are you hearing me? You have worked yourself over time to get to a point that the guy that will be worth giving attention. I'm not talking about even money. I'm talking about the guy that will be worth giving your attention to must have a very large mind, because you have expanded. So most of the people that you are feeling like it could be this person, maybe some of them they are fine, they are not bad, they are coming from this thing that you feel like, okay, this guy should not be, because you are not looking down on people. Many of them do not have expanded mind. A guy can use car and still not have expanded mind. No. I'm dealing with a case recently now. I used to know them some years back, you know what I mean? And I used to think that their marriage was okay until the lady told me that I said, Pastor, because the lady now moved abroad. The guy is not reaching me to help beg the lady so that the marriage can be consummated, because the lady respected me. So I've not talked to her for a long time. So I had to call her and said, Alanda, you're out of the country and all that. So by the time we began to talk, I said, but I thought your home was good. He said, Pastor, let me not deceive you. I had to calm down to manage his mind. But I found out that no matter how low I go, he still does. See, by the time she finished with me, I haven't had the two parties. Me, that are supposed to be mediator, I could not mediate again. Because the Bible says, can two people work together except they agree? You just find out that there are some people it's just not going to work, because their mind can't undo the progress. Not because the lady is bad, but because they have not worked up their mind to handle. So don't feel bad if that's the case. All right.
Okay, sir. In a situation where, as a woman, you keep communicating the issues and you don't see a measure of intentionality in changes, and then you result to a point where you just suck it up. That situation, what is the way out? What do you want to do?
All right, I will allow Dr. D to speak to it, but let me just give a background. Come forward. Now, many times I've had ladies say this. You see, sometimes you are communicating something to somebody. Communication has not taken place until the other party has gotten the message of what you are saying. So the challenge most of the time is, it is either how it is being said, or there is a barrier somewhere. So first rule is to get a mediator, somebody that loves the two of you, that the person can unburden to, who can first get, okay, is this what you are saying? And then when the person gets it, then it can be taken back to, I'll give you an example and then I'll hand over to her. When I first got married to her, then she came up with this issue of, you don't love me, you don't love me. And I'm like, I don't love you, I marry you. Which one is it? I don't love you, I don't love you. Then I'd never seen, I didn't grow up from a home that my father was going to kitchen with a woman. And you don't blame me. My father was a normal, typical balanced system. So sit down, and then they bring his food to him, he eats. That's what I've seen. Then somebody now said, I should be coming to kitchen. I'll stay in the kitchen. When you carry a plate, I carry a plate. Are we together? So I didn't get it. And I must be honest. So we got married. She'll come and meet me at my place. We get home. And then she'll get to the kitchen. I'll get into the bedroom, remove my clothes and all that. And then I get to the sitting room. You know I'm a pastor. The man of God. So I carry my Bible or any book I'm reading. Then I go across my leg and I'm reading the Bible. I'm in despair, eh? So when she began to say, I can't get it. Then we now had to go to my discipler. Thank God for my discipler. By the time she explained to my discipler, as my discipler was not there, I couldn't get what he was not there and agree with. Then after he laughed, he said, Shegun, I almost killed my wife this way. Then what she was saying to me that I didn't get, the man just broke it down to me. My eyes clear.
I think he's basically said it. You need somebody who will understand. And it's important you talk to God and tell him to direct you in such a way that you can get the right person that will understand. Let me put the other side to it. When we got married, we were very vocal. And my setup, we are vocal as per we talk to our parents when we think things are not going the right way. You know, I can say, Daddy, I don't think I like that. You know, I don't think, you know, I think you think I'm not going to be somebody, but I'm going to be some, you can, you know. But his own, if you ever try that, you know. And so our upbringing is very different. And so when he's talking and I'm talking, I'm actually very loud. And he says, why are you shouting? And I'm like, I'm not shouting. You know? And then he's like, but you are shouting. I'm like, even my dad knows that is how I talk. What is Then he said,
I will tell her I'm not her father.
then he will say that, but you know, I'm not your dad. Your dad was with you for many years. He knows you so well. So I still remember that one of the days, as we went to see our disciple, we had a reason to say one or two things. And the prof said, I think he called me Jola or something, I forgot. Yes. He said, yes. He said, I know where you are coming from. I know you are very vocal. You are from an environment where you are allowed to express yourself. So I now understood that I'm married to a balanced like lineage. Where expression of yourself in its fullness may not be completely understood. So I stepped back. And then when he now talked about the help, I still remember when I had to go visit my brother in the UK once. And after we finished talking, my dad himself, we gisted till 12. And then I said, oh, aren't you going to sleep? He said, oh, I still need to do the dishes in the kitchen. That's how we grew up. You understand that kind of thing? His wife was with the baby, with the child upstairs. After 12, he said I did some day work and I slept around 2. And by 8, he was ready for work the next day. That's how our setting is. So you almost know where these people are coming from. Won't be tied. Nobody learned it from my father that he leaves a woman in the kitchen. Why? Even when we all left the house, we always ate. My mother is a kitty woman. People were surprised. I said I can pound yam. I won't be telling you in a kitty woman's house. You can't pound yam. You must not pound yam. When we all used to do it, after we all left the house, my dad and her, they would do the pounded yam together. That's how we grew up. So how? Know where the history is from.
But I'm changing. All right, are we through?
All right, I would like to go back to Hayward's question. Are there no times where sorry is gaslighting?
It's
Yes, because you said he doesn't like sorry. Are there no times when someone tells you sorry and you see that sorry is gaslighting you? Like, I don't want to hear sorry. Do you understand?
I want to hear action.
So not even action. There are times that the sorry comes because of the situation. The sorry just could it be? I've been trying to figure out an example in my head since he asked the question.
Sorry.
But I'm aware that there are times that sorry is gaslighting. Do you understand? Most of the time it's gaslighting. So that then you talked about the emotional manipulation and all of that. Is there any woman, who doesn't do the emotional manipulation? Because I must say, even from the home to the office to wherever on the street and all, you see women manipulating men emotionally most of the times. And you just ask yourself, it's for if you want to live well anyways, you understand the style, and it just I was talking to my friend sometimes. He said what we call growth as men, you know, responsible men, is the ability to look away. It is not that the changes occurred. It is because we started looking away. We say, okay, fine, we can look away from this. That's most of the time what we call growth in relationships, in marriages, and all of that. So I want you to just talk about that.
Okay. I won't say that every time a woman expresses emotions is because she wants to manipulate. Women are very emotional. They are emotional everywhere. I still remember that our prof, one of the updates we went, there was somebody. She said, as she told us something, she just said, hey, you ladies, mind yourself. They now ask you a question. You go into the oral room, they ask you a question, and then you guys are crying, and then you don't see some of the men say, oh, no, she's crying. No, leave her. No, you don't want to cry. If you get into my room that way, you will fail, you know, because she became irritated. Because ladies easily, once they see that, oh, the is having failure, you know, they just... Easily, I still remember that on one of the days that we're there, we're doing, it was the exam season. I just saw two doctors talking. One said, hey, you look at the work with me, do you do a residency to your law? But the initial what they know. So it's not because, it's because they want to gaslight. And so when you find that it's not like that, it's necessary that you don't read it that way. But when ladies also need to be very careful when you say sorry, because there are times you say, sorry, no, you know, nobody is going to accept that. Or what do you want? Sorry, I beg, have I not told you sorry? You know, that one is not good. So it's necessary that we learn to apologize properly, and then also learn to listen a little more, because we have a problem, at least I know personally. We have a problem listening because of when our emotions is so up, we are so about giving our points that listening. I remember my husband would say, listen, Farabale, listen. So living for some time at that time, okay, maybe when you are ready to listen, maybe maturity. But it is necessary that the person gets to understand what the other person is also talking about. I don't know whether I said some things in what you are exactly asking about. Did I talk in that?
All right. So I think another thing I would just add to it is that she mentioned it. The fact that most women are emotional does not mean they are using emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is when the emotion is intentionally used to make you do what they want you to do.
Like they're driving on the road now, and you are driving, you are coming. Because they are women, they won't use the proper channel.
Now see.
It's on display every day.
Now, a woman may be emotionally not intelligent. It doesn't mean she wants to use emotion to blackmail you. Okay, let's use this way now. A woman meets you now, and then you say something, and maybe she's somebody that is introspective. And then as soon as you say, is it me that you talk to like that? And she starts crying. Now, she may not be intending to blackmail you. It's just that she's a person that when you talk to her like that, that thing pains her. So she's expecting the way she feels. But it's different from a woman who knows that usually people support a woman when there's a misunderstanding between a man, and then he comes and says, are you not a man? Are you not supposed to be ashamed that you are a man? She wants to get away. So that way she's trying to make you do what she wants, using that. That's where the difference.
I need to tell you a story that happened in our former house. The woman decided at somebody somewhere, one of the places we lived. The woman decided he is like had to do with water, pumping water, and the husband said no, that it wouldn't be like that. So he got angry that I will live in this place. Why should we not pump water when we wanted to pump water? As the man was talking, the wife brought her child and was pulling him like this, and was pulling his clothes so that something will happen to the child.
She went inside to go and bring child.
Yes, she basically went inside to bring her child. So I still remember Miss Hansen was leaving her house. That Miss Hansen said, "If no be saying, Pastor, I will beat this woman finish." But you know when Pastor says, Miss Hansen, worry blood, you know what he said. And she just said, I just don't want to get Pastor into trouble. I collect the child from him. So that means she not start fighting.
Praise God. All right, I think that should be the last, is it? Okay.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
So my question is, in a situation whereby a lady and a man, they met each other and they started courting, dating, and everything looks promising. Then all of a sudden, the whole thing led to marriage, and the man started showing signs of being insecure, and he started showing signs of anger issues. Like the anger issues is like top tier. So at that point, so you know the whole thing now is translated to marriage. So how should the lady approach the situation? The man now is insecure and has anger issues. Where should the lady draw the line? How should she manage the whole situation?
Okay, this is how I see it. Let's do it. Okay, they are now married. The truth is that before that time, there will have been traces which she ignored. Okay, she said it. She saw it. Okay, good. Now that they are married, she needs to be patient. She needs a counselor. And she needs to pray. And be wise.
That advice is very powerful, because see, the man that is holding sword, you don't fight a man that is holding sword. You don't fight a man that is holding power. Those two people you don't fight. A man that is holding sword, no matter how right you are, he will kill you. A man that is holding power, no matter how right you are, he will oppress you. Tí àlè ìyá yẹn bá ju bàbá yẹn lọ, dádì náà ń pè.
What a bad proverb on the altar.
Oh, I have some questions here.
No, they're online questions.
Okay. The first one says, Pastor, when somebody uses God said to always make me decide on the decision, what should I do?
When a person uses God said to always make me make decisions.
Okay, like a female, whether male or female, that's very manipulative. For example, when a guy comes to some girls, some ladies, and they keep saying, God said we are supposed to marry. God said we are supposed to marry. God said you are my wife. That's evil. And they should run away from that kind of person. If it's God, there will be no haste. But if in marriage now, we have had situations of counsel where the wife feels that she's the one that hears from God, and that she's the one, is the direction that God, simply because God had used her one or two times, she now believes that the man is dull, he cannot hear God, and that she sees that in their household, she's the one that hears. By the time she pushes them into hole, the man will understand that it's not always that God leads such a person who feels so self-assertive.
Let me also say this to you. I don't blame the person who said God said, though. I blame the person who is manipulated, because we are all children of God. So there should be a witness in your spirit if God is truly saying.
All right, sir. The second one says, When correcting a man, and the man always gets angry. Like they usually give an example. Like you usually say, "Mommy usually correct your English and tell you."
A woman correct one PhD degree in correction.
So how do you handle such man?
If the man doesn't want to be corrected, the wisdom is not to correct him again. Yeah. That's the truth. But if the man will not mind being corrected, then you must also know how to say it. In as much as he sees that I did a lot of English correction, there are still few times I still make some of those things. But it's not necessary really anymore. And there was a time God said, it's now okay, don't. You understand that kind of thing? The way I was, because then I could have 10 grammatical error. That is it. My mom will criticize your spoken English, so she trained me to also, once there is, kilo day. And so I remember when I met him, I said, oh God, how do I take him to my mom? My mom will say, wow, who did you not bring? He doesn't even speak English. Yeah, before she says he doesn't even speak English. That's exactly how she can do. But somehow he got there and the Lord,
favor
in fact, he was her good friend.
All right. Now, I have a question, sir. I've had people say, when we are dating, we are courting, I like this thing about this person. The person does not maybe make up or something. Now we are married. Is it possible for my taste to change? And now I'm demanding, okay, I like you to make up. And the lady say, you saw me like that, and that's the way you saw me. Why did you marry me like that? What should I do?
I think, who was it? I think it was Pastor Kojo I had saying something like that. In every marriage, you must understand that positively anyway, there will be changes. Culture change. And you cannot say, this is the way I was in 1930, and this is how it will be forever and ever. There will always be, or there will likely, as they do not affect the foundation of your faith belief. If they don't affect your foundation of faith belief, and the man wants something, I think it's a give and take way.
Then I think the man will also have to be a little patient. Because Mama Funke said for the first 10 years, that phrase has a lot of meaning. That means he must have been telling her to do it earlier before then. And she said the first time I wore an earring, he said, I've always thought I live with a man. But I now, that means she's now said, but he never mentioned it to her. That you don't be man, just look like a man, you are flat, you are this, see you. If he had done that, he would have killed the self, the esteem that God had put there. But he kept on. There's a lot of patience that is needed. I told you where I came from and how long it took him to make me plan finances. It didn't happen just like that. But now I can overplan. Oh God. I can plan 10 naira. I can plan 10 naira. Before, once I get any money, I'm already thinking of, okay, how do I do it? I'm putting it on paper. At times, if I don't put it on paper physically, I put it on paper in my mind. Now I put almost everything. At times, things I even buy, just to be sure that I don't waste and throw away money. But it started from a KG class.
All right. Okay, sir. Naturally, it's known that women are emotional beings, right? And from what you have said tonight, I was trying to express certain things. So, there are times that you just want to feel loved, cared for, pampered, and you're not getting that attention. That your look, eh? So how do you manage those times such that you don't? Okay, then the second side to that question is it possible in any way to use emotional blackmail positively? Then, this is a personal question now that I usually look for a good time to be able to
express myself or talk or give you gist. But for my husband, there are times that he's spontaneous. He will just say those things as it comes. And I'm like, are you not reading the room? Can't you feel like, can't you see that I'm not even in the frame to hear this now? Or you should have stopped at a particular time. And then the other side to it for me is, I don't get to say some things until I feel so good to talk about them. And he feels, maybe I keep to myself or I go quiet on him. So how do I improve on myself?
Okay, I think we should start with that last question. The reality is that you will need to change. Maybe, yes, one may not say overnight, because you cannot, in marriage, you cannot subject a lot of the crucial issues to how you feel. So many times, you may not feel like it, but you will have to do it because it's a child of necessity. I'll give an example. There are times, both of us happens to us. In fact, it still happened to, as I was preparing for the service now, it still happened. There are times she wants to talk and not in the mood to hear. But I will have to hear because it's not about me. It's about her. Sometimes I even would have caught myself that I'm logged off. Then I'll quickly call myself back so that I can hear. Because at that moment that she wants to talk, there is a way she will be feeling. And the same thing happens. It was me that I wanted to say something. And she was ready to quickly prepare for service. I could see it much later. But I wanted to say something out. And as I was trying to talk to her, she was smiling and laughing. It was later I got that, oh, this woman was just trying to ensure that I finished talking what I had to say. Do you get what I'm saying now? But you know, despite the fact that I could see that, I still continue to say what I had to say because I must get it out. Do you get what I'm saying now? The issue is that sometimes the talk is part of the way the person feels relieved. And once they say it, it's out of them. So you cannot, and then you too, when you have to say some things, or when they are trying to pressure you to say some things, sometimes it is helpful because they are in the mood to really hear. You may not say, you may just give a little appetizer that will help. It will be a lot of give and take here and there, sincerely. But we cannot say, oh, I will talk when I feel like talking, I'll keep quiet when I feel like it. It won't work. Then you talked about using emotions. I've said it. It is when emotion is used to manipulate that it becomes emotional blackmail. When emotions is used rightly, it's emotional intelligence. There is a slight thin line of demarcation between emotional intelligence and emotional blackmail. But the thing about emotional blackmail is that ultimately you don't care about the person's interest. You just want to use your knowledge of emotions, either of yourself or of theirs, to make them to do what you want. So you are using the knowledge to take advantage of them. That's when it becomes a bad issue. I hope I made sense. All right, thank you. All right, praise the Lord. And we're close to service. So by God's grace, we'll be doing for the singles at Potter's Palace tomorrow, on Thursday. So if you're a single person, you can find your way to Potter's Palace on Thursday. God bless you.
Let's bring out our offerings and our tithe. Father, we say thank you for blessing us again tonight. I know you have blessed and you have taught each of us something, and we're saying thank you. We're giving to you, and I know that the word says you should bring and appear before you rightly. And so we're appearing before you with this seeds that we have. We ask that you receive them and bless us as you promise to bless us in return in Jesus' name. And together we all say, the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit